Welcome to the Essence of the Soul.
A safe haven for all souls.
My name is Linda.
And my name is Paris, and welcome to our episode on Karmic Debt numbers. So if you watched our season 2, we did a whole numerology series from life paths 1 through 9, as well as the master numbers 11, 22, and 33. So we talked a little bit about karmic debt numbers, but we never went in depth with them. So we kind of want to go over each of the numbers, which is 13, 14, 16, and 19. So the way that you would kind of know this is if you had a birthday that added up to the actual number 13, 14, 16, or 19. That's how you would know that you have a karmic debt from a previous lifetime.
And keep in mind with karmic debt numbers, specifically with numerology, we have different type of numbers. We have our destiny number, our expression number, our personal year number, even our birthday number. So if you have any of these karmic numbers within those areas of your numerology chart, these can apply as well. It's just if you have a life path number that falls within a karmic debt, this is going to be your overall lesson and most likely past life lessons that you'll have to learn from.
Yes, and it'll be crucial for you to actually learn the lessons in this lifetime and to overcome that karmic debt so that you can move forward from those things.
Yep. So this is basically going to be your cheat code to learning the lessons.
Yes.
So we can go ahead and start with karmic debt 13, okay? So karmic debt 13, if we add 1 plus 3 equals 4. So you have a life path 13-4 here, and 13-4 basically carries the negative traits of a life path 4. So this means that in your past life, most likely you abused materialism and you self-indulged a lot. So this means that, everything that you had was probably because of the people around you. You didn't actually work hard for what you had. You basically fed off of others, or you avoided responsibility, but you somehow always got lucky enough to gain what came with it. This could also be something where maybe you were addicted to self-indulgence or pleasure. Everything you did was for your own selfish needs, and it didn't really, affect or help other people around you. So in this lifetime, you need to learn how to be more responsible with your actions and also break out of the habit for the constant need for like gratification or like pleasure or like wants, You could have also abused power in your past life. This has to do with like, because you were very materialistic, you probably used your power to gain those things. It could also be a lack of self-control, also being too stubborn or rigid, not, being able to like consider other people's feelings or consider like other factors in your life. You were probably very goal-oriented, but you quit your goals very quick too. So this is the negative aspect of a 4. So a 4, they're very practical, they're very logical, and they work very hard for the things that they earn. But being a 13-4 means that you need to work on this aspect where you are probably very intelligent and you have a lot of goals, but you don't have the practicality that comes with a 4 in order to complete that. So in this lifetime, it's really important for you to master the 1 and the 3 is what they say. So the 1 is also about being independent, being able to go out there and like complete things, accomplish things on your own. But with the 3, this is the lesson. The 3 is where you need to learn how to utilize your creativity and utilize that energy to have practical steps to get to the goals that you are trying to accomplish. But, with that 3, that probably means in your past life, you weren't very focused. And that's what 4s are. That's why you have that 4 energy that you need to learn in this lifetime.
That's why they say with karmic debt 13, they usually struggle a lot. Like, so in this lifetime now, they say that they struggle a lot with finding success because they have to really, really work hard for it. You usually, if you have a karmic debt 13, you kind of have to work harder than many others. And you also have to juggle a lot of different tasks that might be hard for you to kind of be organized or keep consistent. These people, they kind of have like a heaviness to them, you know, where they start to get a lot of like frustration, and they start to feel overwhelmed too because it's a lot to handle.
And a lot of times, overwhelm comes with a lack of structure, you know, and that's what you need to learn with that four is having a structure. This is what's going to help you work towards your goals. These are like the little tips with this lesson for this life path.
But I will say it's important for you, Karmic Debt 13, to never give up on your efforts, never give up on anything that you work hard for, because you will get there. You know, it's just in this lifetime, you know, you might see yourself like, oh, why do I feel like this person, you know, they get everything easily handed to them. But for me, like, I feel like I have to work harder than other people. It is connected to a previous lifetime, but in this lifetime, it really teaches you that, okay, now it's almost like it's my turn, because back then I did abuse that power, you know? And so it's just important that you just surrender yourself so that you can understand that the work that you're putting in will not go to waste, you know? So keep up that effort. If you continue to work hard, you will get through this karmic debt.
Yes, and one thing that you can like utilize to work through this is focusing on one main project at a time. Learn from the positive aspect of a life path four. So fours, they have one big main project that they focus on, and they structure their life in a way where they have a strategic plan to get to it. This will really help you be more organized so that you're not so scattered. And also utilizing that three, that creativity that comes with, you know, a 13. Utilize your creativity to become like a leader, to become someone that can accomplish their goals.
Yeah.
Also, like a lesson that you will have to learn too is you cannot take shortcuts, because shortcuts will prevent you from learning your lessons, and you will find yourself on an even more difficult path if you try to cut corners. So make sure to have a solid routine, accomplish things according to how they're meant to be like accomplished, and be open to like fresh ideas and like creativity, because most likely in your past life you may have had some stubbornness to like new perspectives or ideas from other people that could help you as well. So moving into karmic debt 14. So 14 is essentially the negative vibration of a life path 5. So a 14-5 life path. This is most likely connected to a past life where you abused your freedom. So this can be many various different like scenarios or circumstances. Everyone is different, but the overall theme is abuse of freedom, which is you basically like took advantage of your human freedom too much. Maybe you overdosed on like drugs, you had addictions, and you know that's how you passed away, and that is a form of freedom, you know. Or maybe like you know, didn't like really take your responsibilities seriously, and you were just very rebellious and very reckless, that you basically ruined your own personal life from the choices that you made, which is that freedom. So in this lifetime, your lesson is basically to learn how to be adaptable and flexible. You will be experiencing many changes, especially with that life path 5. Fives, they are very adventurous, they're very open to new things, and they are very like drawn to new adventures and journeys, which is very good. But you need to learn how to be responsible as well. Learn how to be adaptable, like have that freedom, but also like balance of structure in your life too, which is that 4 energy. So that 4 is all about structure, and that 1 is being independent, and combining that together creates a 5, which is someone who allows them to be adaptable and flexible, but also structured and has order in their life.
Yeah. I will say that these people, they will, one of your karmas too is actually going through multiple changes, because you do have to learn how to adapt yourself to the like ongoing alterations and the circumstances that you'll face in your life. I will say that these people, they survive by accommodating their own selves. It's really hard to say, because because of how much you have abused your power, you do have to keep on going just by continuously. It's hard to balance, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. It's hard to balance those actions that you did in the past with this current lifetime too, because you often find yourself more addicted to like bad habits and, you know, like you said, the drugs or
Yeah.
alcohol or partying, whatever it is. So I would say keep a balanced life, but at the same time, try not to overdo it. Try not to abuse the that five energy, you know?
Yeah, they also say that your mental and emotional stability is going to be really important in this current life because you need to be able to balance all the constant changes. And that's why life path like 14 fives, they often find themselves falling into like addictions because that's how they cope with the constant changes, you know? Like when you're constantly going through changes, there comes a lot of transformation, a lot of like endings and beginnings, and it could be overwhelming going through all of those chaotic energies. So find a healthy way to balance your energies instead of using coping mechanisms for that. Really have like clarity and focus on where you want to go and have commitment because something with fives is they often like, you know, they start something but they don't finish too because they have so many different ideas, so many different things they want to try out. They don't follow through right away. So it's really important that when you have your mindset on something, be committed to it so that you can succeed. Because the fives, like, they are very talented too, very talented and very versatile, but they just need to find that balance. And also avoid making big changes just because you're bored of something is going to be a very big lesson for you. Learn how to manage your internal world so that you can manage your outer world as well.
Yeah.
So going to Karmic Debt 16. So 16 is basically a 16-7. So you will be a life path 7 with a karmic debt 16. This life path is about death of the ego. So death of the ego and rebirth of the soul is what your main lesson is going to be. It's about connecting with your higher consciousness and understanding and learning how to manage the conflicting energies between your ego and your higher self is one of the main lessons because 7 is a spiritual life path. You are meant to have great spiritual growth in this life path if you know how to navigate correctly. So the universe is going to be testing you a lot to really humble you. It is going to be literally throwing challenges and obstacles at you so that you can have that death of ego, have that ego death, because that is the ultimate goal in this life path so that you can awaken to your higher self, your higher consciousness. It's also about developing faith in life through expansion. So expanding your learning, your knowledge. And a lot of sevens, you may already be like drawn to things that not a lot of people look into, like maybe philosophy, research, the spiritual side, but be open to new paths because this is going to really help you expand in your journey.
I would say this number also allows people to rediscover themselves a lot, just because of who they were in the past. You know what I mean? People who have this number, they might go through like major changes to prove that, you know, they are in a spiritual individual too. So they kind of have to go through a journey of self-discovery, and it's a good thing, I will say, even though it's a karmic debt number, as long as, like you said, you can really kill that ego, which is going to be very hard. And you can embrace that 7 energy. The route of like self-discovery is going to be actually fairly beautiful if you can really fall into that.
It's interesting because 16-7 life path, their past life, they were actually very spiritual people, like spiritual leaders, even possibly someone that was looked up to because they were very like spiritually elevated, like they were very up there, but they actually had this spiritual egotism to them where they looked down upon others. And this is their karma, is in this lifetime they have to experience what it's like not to be spiritual because you look down upon other people like that in your previous life. So now it's going to really test your faith and like make you go through the challenges of what it's like not to be a spiritual person so that you can, like Paris said, rediscover your spirituality, rediscover yourself. But it'll be a little difficult challenge for you.
Also heard in the past life that they're also very beautiful people too. Like very good looking, like
Wow.
good looking, beautiful, pretty, handsome, whatever. And these people abuse their power just by, when we talk about beauty in vain, right, we talk about ego too. So because of your good looks and how you looked towards people too, that you could also use that as a form of ego as well. So that's what I heard about 16. So if you are born in a 16, you might be very beautiful right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, some lessons with the 16-7 is you have to learn to connect with your heart. And this is what the 6 is about. It's about balancing, everything else through connection through your heart. Learn to be vulnerable and utilize your sensitivity as a strength. You have to learn to make better choices and don't self-sabotage yourself. This is partially due to the lesson you have to learn because you tend to do this, which is this cycle of self-sabotage. So, focus more on your spiritual side instead of materialistic stuff because in this lifetime, you are here for spiritual growth, not for materialistic endeavors. So you can be in more alignment with better choices when you lean into your spirituality. You're also going to be going through a cycle of like death and rebirth a lot because this is going to be the fastest like path for you to spiritual growth as well.
And with higher consciousness, you'll also be able to get through the harder times too. So keep it up and yeah, good luck to you, 16.
All right, going into Karmic Debt 19. This is the last Karmic Debt number. So, Karmic Debt 19 is actually a very old soul, okay? They've been around for a long time, but specifically in a previous lifetime, they had abused their power and authority. So, they had a lot of egotism. They had a lot of incredible like leadership like power over others, and they used this to either bully, manipulate, or for their own personal gain. So a lot of these people they walked all over others without considering other people's feelings. They stubbornly resisted to help others when other people needed help, and they were just either like also overly dependent too. One thing about 19 ones is they actually secretly lack self confidence. So if you find yourself lacking self confidence in this lifetime, it's probably part of like your karmic debt path that you have to learn. So, 19 is 1 plus 9, and it's the 1. So life path 1 is all about, individuality, independence, being that leader and being assertive, being someone that can lead others, but also leading through helping others through that 9 energy. Because 9 is a humanitarian energy. You have to learn how to utilize your leadership and power in this lifetime by helping others instead of for your own good. And that's how you will be able to succeed. If you don't use your power to help others, you're not going to succeed. A lesson also for this life path is to use your authority in a proper way for like good, basically. Allow others to also help you as well. Something with, a 19-1 is they can do everything all by themselves, but they have to also learn how to let others help them as well as helping others. It's an exchange. There will be difficulties that you will have to overcome through personal struggle. So a lot of this life path has to do with internal struggles.
And with this life path too, the 19, they also don't really like taking advice from people. And it's really hard for them to own up or accept their own mistakes as well, because of that strong 1 energy, So I would say these people, I will say that one of the best things that you can do is go and volunteer, go and help people more, and kind of bring out that more giving side to you, because that abuse of power in the previous lifetime will come back to haunt you a little bit. So you kind of have to learn to find ways to make up for it. So go out and actually help the world, because you have that leadership type of energy where it's that 1 energy, right? So it is kind of in your hands to give back more in this lifetime if you would like to pass that karmic debt 19.
Yeah, I do know a lot of 19 in my life too, and a lot of 19s, they go through these cycles of having to really help others. Like they're just put in positions where they have to give to others. And this is maybe like because, like we said, in your past life, you probably abused your power. And if you find that there's specific people in your life that you overextend your help a lot, you give a lot to them, that's probably because you have some sort of karmic connection with them, and it's a form of repaying back to them in this lifetime.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so these are the karmic debt numbers. Like we mentioned, if this is your life path number, this is going to be your overall life lesson. If it is a personal year number, this is most likely a karmic lesson you'll be learning this year. Otherwise, look into the different areas of your chart, and that's going to be alignment with what that number is for you.
And just remember that karmic debt is just that belief that, you have to repay something from a previous lifetime in order to achieve balance and harmony in this current lifetime too. So it's not necessarily always going to be a bad thing, but it's about what are you going to do to make it better? How are you going to pass this karmic debt, and how are you going to repay I guess for yourself as well as for maybe even others that maybe you abuse, like you said, with karmic ties and relationships as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. We hope that you took away some of this information to help you in your journey. If you do have a karmic debt number, it's okay. We all have some sort of karma that we have to balance. So just take this as a learning lesson in this lifetime to really balance and, move forward so that you don't have to do it again in the next lifetime.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Thank you so much. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on our social media pages. It really helps us get this information out to other people in need. Thanks.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.